My name is Fotios Fitsilis. I work for the Hellenic Parliament in Athens, and I'm head of a department for scientific documentation and supervision, which means I have to deal with parliamentary documentation and archiving, and the supervision of projects, among others, also digital projects of digital transformation. Today, I'm going to share a little bit of my thoughts regarding the digital transformation of the Greek Parliament, where we were, where we are now, and if we have some time, where we are going in the next 10 minutes, roughly. So there, as everybody of you have noticed, there was a huge disruptive event period in the past years regarding the COVID pandemic, of course, I'm talking about. And we had developed a strategy, a parliamentary strategy, back in 2018, which is also online, unfortunately only in Greek, which is a problem, I would say. Such strategies of parliaments sometimes are not only of national interest, they are also of regional or maybe much greater, if not global interest. It should be in multiple languages. Nonetheless, back in 2018, there has been developed and put online a strategy. And in this parliamentary strategy, there were certain points that are connected to the digital transformation of Parliament. And of course, it was put online in 2018, but it was developed for at least a year, as far as I remember. So we are talking now about a strategy that was the state of the art was 2017, roughly. And then in 2020, for Greece, it was beginning of 2020, in February, there were the first governmental decrees about the pandemic, and the Parliament followed immediately 2 weeks after. There was this disruption, and the whole plan, not only the governmental plan, the legislation plan, but here we talk, or we would like to talk better about the digital plan, went down the drain. I don't think that this original plan was relevant. Instead, we moved to a crisis management mode. What this means for digital is that people, okay, let's start now first with employees and then maybe with MPs. People could not work from office anymore. No, there was an absolute minimum allowed. Safety, we worked on safety personnel, and most of the people needed to work from home. Now, this was made in two ways. First, we started engaging more and more VPN, so virtual private network. It connected many people to it. And also some people that could not work over it worked manually. That means with taxis or cars, the documents were brought to them and they had to work from home. When it comes now to the digital transformation, we saw that, okay, we needed to move much more quicker than originally had in mind in our general strategy. So what has been done is we assessed the communication possibilities regarding meetings, e-meetings, and online discussions, and we saw that there was for parliamentary meetings there was only one meeting room equipped with the relevant equipment, teleconferencing equipment. So we started ramping up our capacities in this regard, and this was able to be completed within a fairly short amount of time. So first of all, the fundamental infrastructure was upgraded inside the parliament, and also, as talked earlier, the connections to our virtual private network became more dense and increased in number. The second thing that needed to be done is the following. We thought, all right, now we have the people that are working from home. They're having it increasingly difficult to come to their offices and work and cooperate. So we needed to provide them with tools in order to support them. And there was an oldest project that I worked in 2000, I think it was 7 or 8. It was a speech-to-text, automatic speech-to-text recognition. So software that listens up to a speaker and delivers a text. So we started, we put into place such a pilot that would help our people that work in the proceeding section and keep minutes to help them out. So originally they are taking notes or they're hearing to a tape and or directly and typing what the speaker is saying. With this new system, which is in a pilot operation, this transformation from speech to text is happening automatically, and then the controllers just check it over to see that it absolutely corresponds to what the speaker is and the MP is saying at the moment, which is obviously a great advancement, and pushes it, it accelerates dramatically the time within minutes are available to the public and online. Another thing is, yes, obviously the cybersecurity issue. Since we migrated online most of our working and our interaction as parliamentary professionals and employees with a parliament, we needed to also to increase our safety, our systemic safety, and advance our cybersecurity capabilities. And indeed, we introduced several advancements internally that helped us avoid or counter cyber attacks. And for any parliamentary administrator out there, this is probably quite familiar. There are lots of attacks out there, and administrators need to have a keen eye all the time to be alert to avoid or counter such attacks, so that our systems are constantly on and do not have to get restarted in order to fight such an attack. Another interesting feature that we introduced is the communication with the government when it comes to the parliamentary control, specifically when it comes to parliamentary questions that MPs ask. Previously, they were sent physically to the ministries. The ministries answered, and they were sent back to the parliament physically on paper, where they were scanned and introduced into our system to be made online. Now there's a new system that this communication happens electronically seamlessly and with great safety, so that mistakes and errors in the process can be avoided, and our data is much more safe and well guarded in this regard. Last but not least, there was just finished just a few months ago, there was a project, a European one, that attempted to codify and electronicalize, if I may say so, our lawmaking process. So we have a quite structured and straightforward process, but this is conducted fully manual. And the idea was, with the help of modern established standards like a Comantoso and relevant schemes using the European legislation identifier and DCAT, we built complex data structures that with their help we can model our legislation in electronically. We can capture its metadata, and thus we can dramatically increase its openness and the way we can handle and process this ex post. This project has a name, and this project is called manylaws.eu. You can log yourself in and try it out. And it is not only an advancement for the Greek Parliament. It was developed jointly with the Austrian Parliament, and it takes also into account the European legislation from the European Parliament. So you can compare between three legal orders, which is quite amazing if you think so. That's what we're where we are now. For the future, we have planned a lot of funny and interesting things. I am not in the position to tell you with absolute certainty which things we're going to take on, but in our scientific service where I'm working, and I can tell you that for sure, we're working with artificial intelligence concepts. We're working. We try to work with blockchain, and we try to work with recommendation systems for helping both employees, MPs, but also the general public to guide themselves better within our parliamentary portal, and to find information that they wish in a more focused and straightforward way. And if this does not tell you something, let me just offer you an example. Imagine if you go to an online store and you buy a printer, the store might automatically offer you the option. Maybe you want to buy also a cartridge, the ink to the printer. We try to do that the same with legislation, and there's many ways how you can do that. For instance, you can capture the history, the browsing history of this person, and if you see that a certain person is looking for financial bills, budgeting, then the system might offer this person also parliamentary questions that have to do with budgeting, or might offer links to certain parliamentary events that are related to budgetary reporting and discussion. So these are just only a few things that we'll try to develop. We will try to advance in the years to come. We rely on all your help. This is a global community. Resources for parliaments are not huge. Investments are not huge. So we need to work together. The IPU helps in this regard a lot. They have established regional hubs and a center for innovation. So I would like to close with just urging everybody to be in contact with each other, share information, write about stuff, publish what they're doing, Hopefully, through this process, parliaments will become stronger and be able to increasingly succeed in achieving their objectives.